Doug, I think we're starting.
Just 1 second, man. I got to update my Facebook status. Okay.
All right.
Welcome to Morning Market Call. I'm your host, Doug Mumford, and with me today, Rhett Weller, first-year finance MBA student. Mm-hmm. And actually, we're talking about Facebook today.
We are.
So my first question for you, Rhett, is we know that the Social Network came out, the movie, about the origins of Facebook. People are talking about Facebook all the time. It's exciting. Some people want to know if they can invest in the company Facebook. Tell us how that would work.
Sure. I get this question, as a first-year MBA student, I get this question a lot, like, hey, can you help me with my finances? I'd like to invest in Facebook. And I tell them, well, slow down. Let's start with the basics, and as you know, Doug, Facebook is a privately held company. You can't invest in Facebook. You can't just, look up the New York Stock Exchange and buy shares of Facebook. It's privately held. Unless you're a very sophisticated investor and manage to pick up shares on the second market, you can't do that. But it begs the question, like, well, what about as opposed to like a company like Google? Google's a private company, is a public company. You can invest in Google. We know how big Google is, and it's a very viable option for those looking to invest.
So how much do people think Facebook is worth, and how do they know that?
It's another good question. Once again, contrasting with Google, we look at the market capitalization, shares outstanding times the price per share. Currently, Google is just shy of $200 billion in net worth, and the revenues for 2009 were $23.6 billion. Facebook, on the other hand, is a private company. We don't have this public data. However, insiders in the company have kind of released that they do about $700 to $800 million a year in revenue, which is only roughly 3% of Google. And there's also been valuations as high as $35 billion as a market cap.
So $35 billion. What is Facebook? How is Facebook's business model compared to Google? So Google does a lot of ads. Mm-hmm. What is Facebook doing?
Sure, they're actually very similar. If you look at the advertising revenue they get, if you go to Google and you do a search, you'll see in the top and down the right side, you will see pay-per-click advertisements. People click on those ads, Google gets the money. Facebook is very similar. If you go to Facebook, you'll see down the right-hand side of the page that there is a bunch of advertisements directed towards you. Now, the key about Facebook advertising is we voluntarily give our information to Facebook. We say how old we are, how much, what our favorite books are, movies, what gender we are, if we're interested in anyone, and Facebook can use that data to target us. Funny story about that recently, I had my 30th birthday not too long ago, and the day before my 30th, I was on there just kind of inviting people to a party, and an ad down that side said, still 30 or still 29 and single? Click here to match up with your mate. The next day I turned 30 and it said, are you over 30 and still single? And I realized, did Facebook just slam me? Did they just, should I be offended?
They know all about you.
I'm a different target market, I guess, for their advertising. But that's very important because they can kind of have a competitive advantage as opposed to Google in selling their advertising to their advertisers, and they should be able to collect a premium for that additional targeting.
So we can't own a share of Facebook yet because it's private. At some point, we expect them to go IPO and be able to. Let's shift a little bit and talk about the movie that came out, The Social Network. So for people that haven't seen the movie yet, they may be thinking, how can you make a movie about someone coding a website interesting to watch?
Yeah, I was worried also when it came out. I was thinking, oh no, this is going to be really boring. But it's actually really good. Aaron Sorkin, David Finch did an excellent job. Fast cuts made it interesting. A lot of good acting, quality acting, even by Justin Timberlake. Actually, a BYU alum film critic, I actually have his review right here. He described the film as having all the stuff of a Shakespearean history play, the intrigue of professional backstabbing, the tragedy of broken friendships, and the exhilaration of changing history. Wow. So, it's a little flowery, but the movie was very good. The shots with the twins alone are worth seeing. They're guys, So they're.
I saw the movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
What would you give the movie if you had to give it a rating?
Sure. Well, in the tradition of Facebook, I would have to give it 1 thumbs up like.
So I think I'll just go on my Facebook application right now and like the Facebook movie. There we go.
Sweet. Thanks, Doug.
Rhett, thank you so much for talking to us about Facebook and The Social Network, the film. For Morning Market Call, I'm your host, Doug Mumford. Catch other episodes at mmc.byu.edu and join us next time.
Thanks. Add me.
Morning Market Call is brought to you by the Marriott School of Management in cooperation with the Brigham Young University Department of Communications. MMC is made possible by generous donations from Larry Tasjan and Gary Williams. This show was produced by Jeff Butler, David Wood, and Doug Mumford, with line producing by Beth Grimmett. For more information, please follow us on Twitter and Facebook.